So just jumping to here under supporting files. Just by way of discussion, we'll do another video another time for multiple files, but this is a single file. So you're basically just linking one file at a time. Multiple files with the same structure can be connected at the same time using a Power Query wizard, which we'll show in another video. Okay, so if I go into single file, then I'm going to establish the connection. So I'll go open, open an app. This is a standard Excel book. Again, no calculations. I've just typed in a sample set, what's important here is to say, like, for simplicity, I use the table structure function. So you'll see if I click off that data set, there's nothing there called table. If I click on there, it says table design. This is your first clue that you're using a table. And if I click on the table design, you'll see that I've called this sales data, and the sheet name is just sheet 1. So I'm going to connect to this book, and most often people would go into a spreadsheet and they would go equals, and they would go and pull that number, and they would have a formula, and it would say something like that, where it's pulling across files, which is fine for, you know, a few little things, and you can do sum ifs and count ifs and VLOOKUPs, whatever it is. But if you want to return the whole table, most people then often just go copy paste, but then there's no live connection. So this is trying to show you how to keep a live relationship to that. So I'm going to just delete that. And to be able to connect to this, we need to know the underlying path. So what we do is we just go file, we go info, we go copy path. Now that copies the path. I'm going to go in here. Now, if that path, like we done as in SharePoint or in Microsoft Teams, as per example, you can do this whole process without closing that file. If you're doing on your hard drive or local network drive, then you know, you probably have to close that Excel book for this process to work. So if I go data, it's going to sound a little bit random. I'm going to click here from web. Although I'm pulling an Excel file. In the March 2021 release, there were some issues with this that I found. I had to go and clear my credentials out of a certain area. So if that happens, I'll show you now. But it was failing a refresh until I cleared those permissions. Okay, so paste the whole path in. What's quite important is the last few characters. That is basically Microsoft's tag at the end of the path of a file to tell it to open in the web, and we obviously at this it's doing that based on that link, but I want to delete those out. So after the XLSX, the question mark to the 1, we just delete that out. We hit OK, and now it's going through a wizard. So this is the first step. If you're sitting here with a security mind, that is authenticated using my logged in Microsoft 365 account at the top right there. If I was in the wrong account, if I'm working with multiple email addresses, it would then either fail or ask me for credentials. So we'll try and recreate that at the end of the video if Bruce's doesn't pop up. So you'll see I've got the structure of the other book, which is the sheet 1. And if I click on there, I'd be tempted to go, oh, that's what I want. But I actually want to click on the table icon. So that's the sales table. And then I could just hit load, or I could transform. So just for simplicity, I'm just going to hit load, which basically says don't change anything, just send it as it is. And now that is the underlying data. So the nice thing here is I can go here. Remember, I'm in the report. So if I go right click delete rows, and now go right click refresh, those rows will come back. If I go into the underlying data and I add a new row, so let's do 2021 03, oops, 21 and whatever, let's say ABC again, and we buy some more apples, and we buy 10 apples, and let's say now it's 6 Rand an apple. So that's 60. So that's there. Once I've saved this file, so if I just hit save, obviously autosave is on, and so from time to time it will kick in. But once that's saved, I should be able to go now, right click, refresh, and there's the 60. So that's the connection. Pretty cool, eh, Bruce?
Yeah, I've been wondering about the price of apples.
Very nice. I should have said $6. Anyway, 6 South African rand. Okay, cool. So that's the framework.